In this video, I'm gonna show you how to make these YouTube description animations easily in After Effects. This style comes straight from Iman Gadzhi's former lead editor, Nicola, so you know it's gonna be top tier. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into After Effects. Alright, so like I said, I got the idea from this guy, Iman's former editor, and he had this pretty beautiful looking description animation, and I thought, why not recreate it? So that's what we'll do. And I have the intro of this exact video here, and we're gonna make a similar YouTube description animation right on this clip. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is hit S on your keyboard and scale this video down. Obviously, no way. And just scale it down. I'll do like 25, this is 4K, so it's 25 but like 50 for you if you have normal footage. And now to give that YouTube look to it, we're gonna add the roughen edges effect. Yeah, so this one. And with this effect we can get the rounded corners. So if we make the fractal influence 0 and we make the edge sharpness like 10, it'll allow us to increase the border value, which rounds the corners. As you can see, perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make a new solid to make the background look a bit better, because it's just completely black right now. So let's fix that. I'll just name this background BG and hit OK. Then let's place it under the footage, and I'll add a gradient ramp to it. I'll make this radial ramp, so the ramp shape. Make it radial. I'll make the white color like a dark gray, so something like this. Then I'll hit this swap colors button, and let's place the gray color in the center, kind of like there. And then we can kind of play around with these blending thingies. We can even make it a bit lighter. Just kind of play around with this. And that looks a lot better than just the plain black background. Alright, now we need to get the assets which come below the video. So the profile picture and the, you know, the name of the channel and the like buttons and stuff like that. And the easiest way to get those is pretty obvious. You can open Google, you can go to YouTube, and I'm just gonna go to my channel because I'm making this on my video. So I'll just go to some random video, and now I'll take a screenshot of all of these. So for Mac, it's Command-Shift-4, and you'll get this screenshot tool. I can't remember what it's for Windows, but you'll figure it out. And then I'll just screenshot all of these, and then let's get back to After Effects, and let's go ahead and import the screenshot right over here. Perfect. Now we can place it down here, and we can add an effect called color key, so this one. And then we can use this pick whip tool, or not the pick whip, the eyedropper tool, to remove the colors. Beautiful. Now we have all of these. And now I'm gonna make it similar to this one. So we're just gonna get the profile picture, the name of the channel, and the like and share buttons. I like this because it's super clean. If you have too much stuff going on, you know, like the subscribe button, the subscribe count, all the buttons over here, the viewer is not gonna know where to look. So this is a super clean way, so we're gonna do that. So how many things do we need? We need profile picture, 1, name, 2, like and share button. So 4 things. So we're gonna duplicate this 4 times. So Command D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4. And then let's go ahead and mask out everything. You can press Q to get this masking tool and select one of the layers and just mask it out. Then you can rename this, makes it a bit easier. So I'll just make this profile pic. Then go to the next one, let's grab the name and call this name, and go to the like button thingy, mask it out, call it like. You can, by the way, hit enter when you're selecting this to rename it easily. And then the share button, just hit enter and share. Amazing. Now you can press Command R or Control R on Windows, and you can grab these rulers to get these kind of perfectly aligned. It's not really necessary, but makes it a bit easier. And then let's resize them and place them like they should. You can also grab this other ruler to get it to the center, and you can center the anchor point here, or you can also shift command and double click this, and it'll also center the anchor point. And then you can just press S and scale them up just like this. Don't make it too big, don't make it too small, but something like this. Pretty nice. And let's go ahead and center these and scale these up just a bit. And I'll grab another ruler to make these perfect. That looks really good. And yeah, you can also place these under the video but over the background, and you can pre-compose these. So Command-Shift-C. And now you can press G for the pen tool, and you can take the fill off. So you can hold Option or Alt and just click the fill off. And you can make the stroke red and make it like 6 pixels. And then we can just click here and click over here. And now we have a beautiful line. And then you can select the line and you can go over here and type stroke, not like that, like this. And you can open this stroke settings. And I'm gonna make this line cap and line join round. So round cap and round join. Then you can go to the taper, make the start length 100 and the end length 100. And then we can make these ease sliders like maybe like 80, both of them. And it'll give this nice effect on the ends where it kind of fades out. We even make this 90, it doesn't have to be much, just a subtle look. That's pretty nice. Now let's animate this line. So go over to add and go to trim pass and open it and keyframe this end, push it a bit forward and make it 0 and select them. Then hit F9 to ease them and you can make a graph like this. So you can just pull this left thing all the way to the, or pull the right lever all the way to the left. Now the line is animated. Then we'll duplicate the line and we're going to change the color to gray, kind of light gray like this, and we'll place it under the red line and we'll push the red line, so this one a bit forward. So there's first a gray line which appears and on top of that the actual red line which is the actual video. And that looks really good. Perfect. Now we still have to make the description box. That's the last thing we need to make. So you can press Q for the rectangle tool, or you can select this rounded rectangle tool over here. And then you can just draw a nice little rectangle, kind of like this. And for this you want the fill on, and the stroke can be on as well. You can make it white and make it 1 pixel. Maybe not exactly white, a bit darker, something like this. And for the fill you can take this eyedropper tool and you can kind of select this color here and just make it a bit darker. This looks good. And I actually kind of messed up. If you look here, the rectangle is not this big, so you can unlink this size and you can make it smaller. Now you can press Command T for the type tool and you can type in description. This is kind of massive. Let's scale it down. Then we can bring it over here. And for the font, I'm just gonna do Montserrat Light. That looks pretty good. And I'll make it kind of like a really dark white. Not exactly white, but kind of like it. Just kind of place it over there. That's pretty good. And then we can duplicate this text, and this text is going to be the actual link. You could copy paste the link in here, or you can do what he did and just type in, click on the link. And we're going to do a bold font, or actually we're going to do let's do like a medium, a semi-bold, whatever. And we'll make the color some kind of blue. Now while I'm playing around with these colors, I want to say a quick word about Creator Syndicate, a platform run by one of the biggest names in the editing space. Inside you get full masterclasses on video editing and how to actually make money with it. I mean, at this point there's around 100 hours of valuable training which you won't find anywhere else. Not to mention the weekly group calls where you can network, ask any questions and get feedback on your edits directly from the top creators in the game. It's exactly how I, an 18-year-old kid, started making my first real money online. This is not a sponsored video, it's just my honest opinion. So check the first link in the description and I'll see you on the next group call. Alright, now we have the scene pretty much set up. Now what we'll do is we'll make everything 3D except for the background. So you can select all of these and make them 3D. Perfect. And the reason we do this is because of the match cuts, which is this beautiful cut right here. So now what I'll do is I'll turn the sound on for this clip and I'm gonna see where I say the description part, and that's when we're gonna animate all of this. Yeah, so around here. And I'm gonna take these lines and I'm gonna push them over here because that's when it actually starts. Yes, so now what I'll do is I'll take everything except the background and I'll parent them to the footage. So taking this big whip thing and dragging it right there. And now I'm gonna make a scale keyframe on the footage and I'm gonna go a bit back and I'm gonna make it fit the screen. And you're gonna wanna make it a tiny bit bigger than than the actual size because of the rounded corners, so you can't see them. So it's like 1% bigger than you normally would. And now we can ease this, so selecting them and F9 and then going over here and making like a 70 graph. So kind of like this. That's beautiful. Might want to make the scale a bit bigger, kind of like this. That's awesome. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a camera. You can make a one node camera, that's fine. Then I'm gonna add a null object also. And I'm gonna parent this camera to the null object and make it 3D. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and open this null object and make a position keyframe. So press P on your keyboard. And I'm gonna place this keyframe like halfway through these keyframes on the footage, so it has a constant movement. And then I'm just gonna slide it down, kind of like this. And I'm gonna select them, F9, easy ease. And I'll make the same 70 graph, kind of like this. And I'll make this longer, make it start a bit later. That's good. And now before the keyframe ends, so you can go around somewhere over here. And now you can cut this camera. So pressing Command-Shift-D, I think it is. I have it changed, but whatever, cut it. And then you can just select the position of this camera and zoom it in, zoom it to the left, and try to get the link to the center. So let's see how this looks. It's good, but we need to extend this null object keyframe. That's beautiful. I really like it. I might make the cut happen a bit sooner, so I can drag this and drag that by holding shift so it snaps in place. That's beautiful. Yeah, that looks really good. Now let's make the box come in only when the cut happens. So we can go over here and you can parent these text thingies to the box. So selecting both of them and parenting them to this. And then you can take the shape layer, so the box, press P on it and go back and push it down like this. Select them, easy ease, and make the same 70 graph. Or actually, let's try a graph like this. So pulling the right one to the left completely and then extending these quite a bit. Yeah, I like this. Only thing, this needs to be a bit lower so it's not showing up. Beautiful. Now Nicola added a mouse here also, which is a pretty cool detail. So let's do that. I should have a mouse somewhere. I'm gonna find it real quick. Yeah, so I found this MacBook mouse. This will work perfectly. We're gonna make that 3D. Yeah, and let's kind of scale this mouse down. I'll leave this mouse in the description if you want to use the same one. I'm gonna place it outside of the screen. And here we're gonna make a position keyframe. And then you can drag the mouse to the link, and I'm gonna make it a bit smaller. Now with the mouse selected, you can press G, and if you hover over this thingy here, or this thingy, it turns into this kind of triangle looking thing. And now when you hold, you can actually change the graph, so it's not a straight movement, it's more like a mouse would normally move. So make it something like this. And we're might as well gonna easy ease this and make a really low graph, like maybe 50. And yeah, make it way longer. We can also make this first keyframe not so far away. I made this graph a bit too round, so I'll fix that. And that's looking good, making it appear a bit sooner. Awesome. Now the only thing that's left is to add a bunch of effects. So let's do that. So I'll make a new adjustment layer. And I'll just go ahead and add a vignette. I'm gonna cut it here where the animation starts happening. Then we can add an optics compensation. This is a pretty good one. I'll increase this to like 16 and I'll hit this reverse lens distortion. And this kind of adds that fisheye look to it, you know, pretty cool. And now what I'll do is I'll make a new solid. And this is gonna be, I'm gonna name it blur. You're gonna see why in a sec. And now you wanna select this ellipse tool. And then you can double click the ellipse and it'll create a mask like this. Now you can go over to the mask settings and you can make this subtract. And then I'm gonna add maybe a Gaussian blur. I think that's gonna be nice. And increase it quite a bit, maybe like 200. And then with this blur layer selected, you can press M 3 times and increase the mask feather quite a bit so it's not so rough around the edges. And you can also scale this up so it's not too much. Basically with this we're gonna try to mimic the shadowy look on the bottom, so you can play around with these settings till it's nice and shadowy. I'm gonna place it under the description and link text but over the box, just like this. That's pretty beautiful. And then I'm gonna press T on my keyboard, make it appear only when this cut happens. So kind of like this. That's beautiful. Now when the mouse appears on the link, we're gonna make it glow. So this text, just add a glow to it. And now I'm gonna play around with these settings till it looks good. So I'll see you in a sec. Alright, so this is what I got. Looks absolutely beautiful. And here's the glow settings if you wanna copy them. And now I'm gonna keyframe the intensity and go back a bit and make it 0. And once we'll ease this, and when the mouse hits the text, it's gonna start glowing. Perfect. Might as well make the intensity a bit bigger. And now I'll take this glow and I'll slap it on the red line. So this one, make it look a bit nicer. Now I actually noticed that the background, the center of the gradient ramp comes over here, and we don't want that, so we can just make this 3D as well to have it stay in place. And that's pretty beautiful. Now let's go ahead and press Command A and add motion blur to everything. So this one makes it look pretty nice. That's pretty much it. If you want to make this a bit longer, you can extend this keyframe and then you can change the graph to a left graph to make it happen sooner, and it's still gonna keep moving because you don't want the movement to stop. That's the beginner mistake. Something is always moving. Also added a vignette to this shape box. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. DM me on X. I'll try to help you guys out as much as I can. That being said, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.